I'd like to introduce you to the 13 children of my great-great-grandparents. The streets of Birmingham, where between 1868 and 1896 their 13 children were born. Here's Anne Maria Tranter, my great-great-grandmother, and William Hanson, my great-great-grandfather. Their firstborn was my great-grandfather Thomas Charles Hanson. All of the children were born in the Ladywood area of Birmingham. In 1868, Thomas Charles was born in Osler Street, and 2 years later their first daughter was born in Clarke Street. So let's have a look at Osler Street and Clarke Street. You'll see the map from today gives a totally different picture. So, if we have a closer look, you can see there are many courts and back-to-back houses crammed into a very small space. A typical Birmingham court consisted of wash house, seen here on the left, privies or toilets on the right, and an entry into the complex in the centre. So let's have a closer look. In 1868, Osler Street, Thomas Charles Hanson, the firstborn. This is what it looked like in the 1950s, still the same as what it was 80 years previous. And today, this is the view from Google Maps. So let's have a look at Clarke Street, where their first daughter was born. This picture from the 1950s shows the street as it was when Anne was born. And the view today, so let's run through the 13 children of my great-great-grandparents who were born between 1868 and 1896. Thomas Charles Hanson, Osler Street, and he lived for 76 years. The second born, first daughter Elizabeth Ann, was born in Clarke Street, and unfortunately I don't know how long she's lived. I've not found her yet. The third, Eliza Mary, lived for 80 years, also born in Clarke Street. Their fourth, William, Icknield Port Road, lived for 64 years. Their fifth, Ann Hanson, born in Freeth Street, lived for 81 years. Their sixth, Alf Hanson, born in Freeth Street also, lived for 58 years. And their seventh child, Mary, also born in Freeth Street, lived for 87 years. George Hanson, born in Icknield Port Road, unfortunately only lived for 4 years. And Maud Hanson, also born in Icknield Port Road, she lived for 76 years. Their 10th child, Bertie, born in Icknield Port Road, lived for 42 years. Their 11th child, Albert George, unfortunately only lived for 1 year. And their 12th child, Edith Hanson, born in St Mary Street, lived for 85 years. And finally, their 13th child, Edward Bernard Hanson, also born in St Mary Street, lived for 66 years. These were the 13 children of my great-great-grandparents, William and Anne Maria Hanson.